So what happened was, so this is not the surprise that I was going to give you guys exactly, but let's chat, okay? So welcome back to the channel. Now this video may come across as ranty, but that's what it is today, okay? So I'm going to repeat some things in case somebody here has not seen my community posts or weren't able to read them or something like that. I don't know. You have no idea what's going on. I don't know. Whatever. We're just going to repeat a couple things here. So, also, I just want to preface this by saying this is not legal advice. I am not a lawyer. I will be retaining legal counsel. I do encourage you to do your own research in relation to any of this. If you have any type of interest or concern or anything like that in the topics, okay, that we're going to be talking about today. So, within the last 3 months, I've received 2 separate copyright strikes on my YouTube channel. To receive a copyright strike, somebody with a YouTube channel has to go in and fill out what is called a DMCA takedown. The DMCA is a Digital Millennium Copyright Act, so pretty much it's a law in regards to the internet and copyright. So through YouTube, one can fill out a DMCA takedown. And in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people, because most people on YouTube are not lawyers, they're not judges, they're, just regular everyday folk out here sitting in their house or their car talking to a camera. So I feel like a lot of people think that the DMCA takedown, which is what causes someone to get a copyright strike on their channel, is just some random YouTube form that they fill out to go boo hoo hoo YouTube, somebody copyright, I don't like, and then YouTube gives them penalties. YouTube bans them from uploading. YouTube restricts their opportunity to make income. YouTube can even terminate their account. However, while those things are true, because YouTube does invoke penalties on the person receiving a copyright strike, the DMCA takedown is actually somebody initiating a legal action, okay? So when somebody submits a DMCA takedown, they're telling YouTube, hey, I want this content removed from your site because it infringes on my copyright. Okay, YouTube does not make any determinations. With the DMCA Act, YouTube has to remove the content because somebody filed a copyright takedown. Okay, so they have to remove the content. But also, by submitting a DMCA takedown, that person is also accusing the other person of infringing on their copyright, which is essentially accusing that person of breaking the law. YouTube will send you an email, say this person / YouTube channel submitted a DMCA takedown against your video or your content. Per the DMCA law, we have to remove that content. So, now I've never filed a copyright strike on somebody, so I don't know what all information is asked of them to fill out. But when you get your copy that tells you somebody filed a copyright strike on you, you get their information. So you know who / the person channel who filed that copyright strike. You know which video or piece of content, whatever you have, that they filed it on. And I don't know, I guess maybe they ask them like where or what or how this infringed on their copyright, because you also get whatever they wrote, okay, for like the reasoning or whatever behind the strike. And the reason, it is not anonymous. I know that Liam Filtered very recently, in her comments of her most recent post, said something along the lines of that I should be telling people that I do not know who issued the copyright strikes. That is false information. I do know who issued the copyright strikes, and the reason why they tell you who issued the copyright strikes is because as the person who is being accused, you can defend yourself because at this point it is just an accusation. So you can submit what is a counter notice, which again, same thing applies. I think a lot of people think that this is just somebody filling out a YouTube form, a random YouTube form. But what it is it's telling YouTube, hey, I want you to put my content back up. My content, whatever, is legal. So you're telling YouTube that, your content is legal by the DMCA law, act, copyright, whatever. So YouTube is like, okay, one of you is saying it's not, one of you is saying it is. So in order for anything else to take place, you have to go to court. Okay, so when you file or submit your counter notice, both parties get each other's personal information. That way, if either party wants to take the other one to court, whether that is to prove copyright infringement or if person B, who was the accused, wants to take the other party to court for false claims of whatever, or whatever, lost income, whatever it is, whoever can take whoever to court. So per the DMCA law, the person who submitted the copyright strike has, I believe it's 10 to 14 days, somewhere in that range of time, to prove to YouTube that they are taking that person to court. If person A does not prove that they are taking person B to court over their accusation, then from my knowledge, YouTube will, I believe they reinstate the video or the content and or possibly lift the penalties. And that is because it wasn't, pretty much in my opinion, it's because nothing was proved one way or the other. So when one disputes, which is the counter notice, the accusation of copyright infringement, that gets the ball rolling for the legal process, which is why information is exchanged. Because both parties, once they submit documentation, they're swearing under penalty to perjury that what they're submitting is accurate. With that being said, I had 2 separate copyright strikes. So that when you get one copyright strike, obviously YouTube takes whatever content that was accused of copyright infringement down. Your penalty, I guess, pretty much being accused of copyright infringement is that you cannot upload any content for a week, and I think there are some income restrictions. If you have 2 copyright strikes, whether they come from the same person or different people, you then enter a 2-week upload ban, plus stricter restrictions on things like being put in the algorithm, generating income, things like that. 3 strikes and you're out of there. YouTube will terminate your channel. You won't be allowed to have a YouTube account no more. Pretty much you're banned from YouTube, okay? I was like, okay, I'm on YouTube just like everybody else. I'm making money from YouTube. I'm currently going to be experiencing a loss of income. So this is a legal action. When I respond, the other person gets to choose whether or not we go to court over it. So for me, it would be stupid to be sitting there looking at 2 potential lawsuits and not have legal counsel. Okay? It would also be stupid at this point for me to not retain legal counsel for anything else, in my opinion, okay? So when I got my 2-week ban, I made a community post to make my audience aware that there is going to be a brief period of no videos. and that in the downtime that I was going to have, I was going to be seeking out legal counsel. Okay, so that's what my community post said. Fast forward to some time, Vanessa Martin came in blazing hot on all caps, publicly come out and said that she issued me a copyright strike, that she retracted it, etc., etc. So I can confirm, or I guess more or less comfortable with confirming, that yes, one of the copyright strikes did come from Vanessa Martin. And before I confirmed that she retracted it, I wanted to make sure that the ban was lifted because, okay, so I did double check. YouTube will, in fact, send you an email to let you know that the person who copyright struck your channel did release their copyright strike. That if somebody retracted the copyright strike, that they did that, okay? And that your strike should be lifted and your status, your YouTube standing should be updated. You also get a notification like in your YouTube Studio, which is how I was able to confirm that she did retract that. But I wanted to just because she posted it in a post and said, hey, I retracted it, I didn't want to be like, oh, yep, she did, if she actually didn't. So I can confirm she did retract the copyright strike that, she put out there. She did do that. Now, whether or not Vanessa Martin knew when she put in a copyright strike that means you have to go to court, I don't know. However, that's also not my problem if she did or did not know that issuing a copyright strike would mean you're taking the person to court. I will also say this because right now it looks like Vanessa's catching a lot of heat everywhere. Vanessa did not do both copyright strikes, okay? They came from two different people. I will say that much. People are also asking me, they want to see, I guess, my copy of the copyright strike that I received. I'm not going to show that because if it does go to court, don't need to be sharing emails, right? But just know that if you copyright strike somebody or whatever, the other person does get told who done it, what video or what content you said, and I guess where, how, or what you're indicating is copyright infringement. And that also goes with you to court. It does become part of your court documentation. It's also funny to me that there's so many people that have just never heard of this, copyright strikes or how it works or whatever, considering the amount of time the general public spends on the internet / YouTube. I have seen other videos from creators who have shared parts of their email to show who struck their channel. I have seen people read it out. There is actually 2 YouTubers right now that are going through court for this particular reason. I watched a reaction video on it last night, and I'm gonna loosely tell you about it. So YouTube channel A was striking YouTube channel B. I assume it was more than once. Now, I don't know what happened in the middle, okay, but somewhere between YouTube channel A striking YouTube channel B went ahead and sued YouTube channel A, something to do with the copyright strikes. And so they've been in court for, I don't know, I was loosely listening for maybe a month, maybe longer, something like that. Because the copyright strikes goes through the federal court system, and the person that was receiving the copyright strikes, again, is suing the person that was giving out the copyright strikes, and they're asking for like at least $5,000 in damages or something like that. And both parties are to some degree making videos about it, documenting it. Their process with their court, their lawsuit, in regards to it. But they're still in court now, over it. And if you search YouTube enough, you'll find probably a bunch of other people who have went through these same things. There's like that infamous YouTuber who got sued by YouTube itself for filing false copyright strikes. But I also think there was maybe more than one person who has either been sued by YouTube or had their channels deleted or what have you due to false copyright striking, because it's a legal action. It's like the same thing as like, it's like similar to, one person going to their local police station and filing paperwork to sue their neighbor because their neighbor's cat tripped them and caused them to break their leg. The neighbor goes down and files their end and says, my cat didn't trip them and make them break their leg. They must have broke their leg some other way or what have you. And then what happens? They have to go to court. And in that case, I guess to prove how the person A broke their leg. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're a part of my viewers, subscribers that see my post about a surprise, again, this video was not exactly it. Obviously, at the time that I made that, I was on a 2-week ban from uploading videos. So pretty much what I was going to do to be able to post videos, get videos out to you during that 2-week ban, was I was going to launch my website, which was what I was planning to do way out in the future, sometime if this community were to grow, to be successful, because that's where I was going to host, again, down the line somewhere, merch, right? Because we as a community have, we've come up with some, pretty good ideas for possible merch. And so later on down the line, because like I said, I work a regular job and I spend a lot of hours doing that, like I said, if this community grows and does things, down the line, I was going to launch a website and offer some merch. But what that also would afford me the opportunity to do is post videos on my own website, amongst other things. And so, one, with this 2-week downtime on YouTube, plus 2, like, essentially pending lawsuits, if you will, needing to gain legal counsel, I said, you know what, I'm just going to roll out the website. I'm going to turn this channel into like just a full business, like dive headfirst into it, because the whole cliche thing of how everybody says, like, if you do like YouTube or some type of social media content and you're making money from it, to not put all your eggs in one basket, because, YouTube can delete your channel, YouTube can ban you, as well as, other platforms and other services. So to kind of not put all your eggs in one basket, to branch out and do other things, find other ways to be lucrative and produce income and or, build your community and what have you. So that was going to be something that I was going to do far out. But I was going to go ahead and make a video, and then I was going to put that on my website and then present that to you all as like my second egg in my basket and a second place to have content and to keep the community going, because I can also offer like a membership there and have exclusive content. I can implement a Discord if you're familiar with that, and you can do like live watch parties, all of those things. But if that's like something that you're interested in, don't get too excited, because I'm still like in the very like beginning stages of that. I'm just gonna roll it out enough, in the next coming days to at least get some videos on there for y'all to watch. But I've also, like I said, I've been setting up scheduling consults with legal counsel in regards to copyright infringement and things like that, trying to see who I can find that I would like to retain in regards to, I don't know if at this point, like with YouTube, it would be entertainment, lawyers, like legal counsel, but I was strictly looking for like people that can handle DMCA. So, so I'm still doing that. And I would recommend that anyone who is doing, social media or anything with the internet, especially if you're making money or whatever, to retain some legal counsel, just in the event that you need it, right? So anyways, guys, I guess that's all I got for you today. Surprise! I'm back!